Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Small Business Sales and Strategy Podcast. Today, we are talking about customer service and the role that it plays in closing sales and continuing to make your customers happy so that they stay with you and they are loyal. Are you an overwhelmed business owner who struggles to meet your sales goals, but you feel like you're working so hard? Hey, I'm Lindsay, a Jesus-following wife and mom of 4. I'm also an award-winning medical device sales rep turned sales and business strategist, and I'm so glad you're here. Welcome to the Small Business Sales and Strategy Podcast. I'm here to help you develop the skills and strategies you need to sell your services and products with ease so that you can grow your business, serve your community well, and ultimately live the life you dream of. Grab your coffee and a notebook or your tennis shoes and take me on a walk. You're in the right place. Are you ready to dive in? Let's go. Hello, friends. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of the podcast. First of all, I want to apologize for skipping a week last week. I was sick and I literally could not talk without coughing or sniffling, and you can probably hear the remnants of that. But it is allergy season in Texas, in the area that we live in the Houston area. And I'm telling you what, every day I get a high pollen count alert on some sort of something that's starting to regrow and bloom here in our area. And it is taken a toll, which turned into a sinus infection, which, I'm starting to finally get over. Okay, so after that, a couple of housekeeping items. If you have not joined my small business community for women on Facebook, please, please, please join my group. It's a small but mighty group, and you are welcome to advertise your business inside of there, ask for help. It's a no judgment zone. So we are there to support you. You can ask sales questions. You can ask other types of business questions. There are lots and lots of ladies who are experts in their area and are willing to help. So please do join us. I will link that in the show notes. All right. Today's topic is customer service in sales. Y'all know I preach and preach and preach, get to know your customers, talk to them, ask questions, and that is all part of the sales process, right? But I think oftentimes customer service really gets overlooked in the sales process. And I believe that customer service has become kind of this lost art. I mean, think about it. Think about all the places that you call in a month's time that you never, ever get to speak with an actual human. You are sent through this crazy online automated system where press 1 for this, press 2 for that, and it feels like you go through 15 options before you actually get to the place where you could get the information, except there's nobody on the other side of the phone to answer your questions. You can't actually speak to a human being. And I think that one of the wonderful things about small business is that our customers don't have to deal with that. They actually have humans. They have human beings and people who care on the other end of the line. And we know that people buy from people they like, know, and trust. And one of the ways that we can build out our business and we can continue growing and getting more customers and all the while maintaining the current customers that we have is through customer service. So how do we build the like, know, and trust factor into our business on a day-to-day? Well, I think I have 2 very simple solutions. They're not necessarily easy, but they're very simple, and I think you might be a little bit surprised here. Number 1, we do what we say we're going to do. I know, it's like crazy simple, right? We do what we say we're going to do. If we say we're going to get back to them, we do it. If we say we will be there, we show up. So we do what we say we're going to do. That's number one. Then number two, I think, is where the customer service piece and our overachieving brains probably get a little bit in our way. Number two is make sure we're setting a reasonable timeline on doing the things that we say we're going to do. So, pulling from my corporate America experience, I would be traveling. There was a point in time where I was covering 2 whole states, like geographically 2 whole states and then part of another. I won't say a half, probably a part of another. Probably a third of the third state. So I was covering 2 1/3 states, and I'm one human being. Geographically, that's hard, right? So there were weeks where I would start in one state, go to the next state, and then go to the third state, all within 5 days. And I know myself. I'm an overachiever. I am the person who promises the sun, moon, and stars, and I will deliver, and I'll about kill myself trying to deliver that for you in the time that I've said that I'm going to deliver it for you. But one of the things that I think is important is to know our limitations, know that we have kids and families to take care of after work, know that we have other customers out there that are also demanding and wanting things from us in a reasonable amount of time. I think if we can just set realistic expectations with ourselves and with our customers, I really think we will do a better job at this whole customer service piece of the sales process. And in return, we will find the right customers for us. So in the example that I just gave, if I knew I was going to be traveling for the next 4 days and I knew that I was going to be running from clinic to clinic or hospital to hospital, also driving 5 hours in between, spending the night in hotels and all the things that come along with, sales and keeping up with your daily duties. If I knew that I was going to be doing things, I would set realistic expectations and say, hey, I will do my best to get this to you by the end of the week. But if I don't, please know it's because I'm traveling and I will be busy in and out of appointments for the next 4 days. I will get this I'll get this to you for sure by Monday. I think if we can just have realistic expectations of ourselves and we can set those expectations with our customers, again, we build that like, know, and trust factor that we say we're going to do something and we do it, but we do it in the timeline that we've promised. We can also add questions to our setting of these timelines, if you will. We can ask, do you have any deadlines that require this information that you're needing from me? Do you need this by a certain time? They may be saying, hey, I need this, but they don't need it for another 3 weeks. Okay, great. Then I will get it to you on Monday. I'm traveling for the next 4 days, 5 days, or I'm going to be out of the office for the next, today's my last day before I go out of the office. Then I'll get this to you when I get back. I think if we can just communicate with our customers and make sure to ask them when they actually need these pieces of information, or they need the contract, or they need us to come back, that will reduce the frustration that could occur on both ends, from the customers, but also on our ends when we're trying to kill ourselves to get information to someone or to get something scheduled to come back, right? If we're just honest and we are realistic, then no one can fault us. We will literally attract the people that we want to attract when we're honest with ourselves, honest with our customers. We do what we say we're going to do, and we do it in the timeline that we say we're going to do it in. Okay, and then I'm going to add a bonus tip to you, especially if you're a service provider who does routine service or maintenance from someone, or you have customers that regularly buy from you, like on an auto ship or a flex ship type of basis, or someone who's a loyal customer who has bought from you over and over and over, and you have a long-standing relationship. Reach out to them. Just call to say hi, how you doing? I just wanted to check in. I haven't heard from you in a while. And even if they've purchased, they may still be purchasing from you, but if you're not having conversations with them, it's a good time to just build rapport and really hone in on that like, know, and trust. Because that will maintain your relationship so that when the next shiny object or company comes around, they don't just jump because they know you. They know they get excellent customer service from you. They know what to expect, when to expect it. They know that you do what you say you're going to do and in the timeline that you say you're going to do it in. And just calling them up and saying, hello, I just wanted to touch base with you, make sure you're still happy with our services or products. Maybe talk about something that you learned about them the last time that you talked. Ask about their kids, ask about their dogs, ask about whatever it is the last time you spoke with them. Take good notes, enter that into your CRM system so that you can remind yourself and really just develop those relationships so that they stick around and they become long-term customers. Okay, and then number 2 bonus tip is that if you need help, you need to hire somebody. If you can't keep up with the customer load that you have already, either hire someone or find some referral partners within your industry, within your niche, within your community that you can say, hey, I'm at my max capacity right here, but I'm going to hand you off to this company or this person. I know they do great work. That's a second bonus tip for you as well. You don't want to be spending hours upon hours on customers who A, aren't paying, but B, you don't have the bandwidth for, because that is going to ruin your excellent customer service and your relationships with your customers. So that was kind of a side note and a side tangent, but bonus tip there. Bonus tip, number 2, right? Okay, so to recap, we are number 1 going to do what we say we're going to do. And then number 2, we're going to do it in a timeline that is realistic for our customers and also ourselves. We're not going to burn ourselves out. We are in small business because it provides so much good for our customers, but also ourselves and our families. And so we don't want to burn ourselves out. We don't want to kill ourselves trying to be all the things to all the people because we have people at home that are relying on us to show up. So don't forget about the customer service piece as a part of your sales process, and really build that into your day-to-day, your week-to-week, your month-to-month. Okay, thanks again for joining me for another episode of the show. I hope to hear from you. You can email me at hello@lindsayfletcher.co. Any sales questions, please send them my way. I would be happy to answer an email and or answer on a podcast episode. So please send your questions my way. And then as a reminder, don't forget to join my free Facebook community of women. They are small business owners. We are a small but mighty group, and we would love to support you in whatever area that your business needs are, especially if it is honing in on your sales skills and communicating with your customers and with your teams better. Thank you again for being here for another episode of Small Business Sales and Strategy Podcast. And as always, I am praying for your business. I am praying that you are thriving right where you are. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of the Small Business Sales and Strategy Podcast. If you found this info useful, will you please leave me a review wherever you are listening? It will not only bless me, but it will also help others find this podcast as well. I'd also love to connect with you, so don't forget to join my free Facebook community for business women. The link is in the show notes. And last but not least, if you'd like to snag a sales and marketing strategy session with me so you can start 2024 off on the right foot, email me at hello@lindsayfletcher.co. Thank you again for listening, and we'll chat next week.